Hello students, how are you? Actually, you know that due to some problem we are unable to go our schools, and it will last few days, and we hope that it will fine soon, and we will continue our routine as we are going to school as a student, as a teacher. We will continue that, and we are hoping for best. It will be soon, fine soon. Today I am here to give you the lecture on the first chapter of your physics for class 10, that is light, and I sent the assignment yesterday, and I read the comments of lots of students that they are unable to understand the certain things in this chapter, and I also hope that this chapter is quite vast, and I'm not making you aware of this chapter, but this chapter contains quite variation, so you need to know each and every topic separately in a described manner so you can easily understand this. So I'm starting the first chapter of physics class 10, that is the light. I already provided the assignment yesterday, the notes yesterday, so I'm only giving the description and the discussion on that note. The classes will be on the basis of that note that I provided you yesterday, so you have to keep that note with you and you have to see my lecture, and I think you guys will enjoy this video. It will be easy for you to understand this chapter. The chapter is light. Light is made up of electromagnetic waves which does not need any material medium to propagate. It means that light can propagate anywhere. Light can travel in anywhere they want. Either they have atmosphere, either they does not have atmosphere. Like whenever we compare light and sound, it contains quite variation. Light does not need any metal medium to propagate, but sound need metal medium for propagation. You know that sound cannot travel in space, but light can travel in space. Light is made up of electromagnetic waves, so I'm giving you these short things and the short description about certain things that is quite necessary. So it is depends on you whether you will note it down in your copy or not, because I provided you the notes. So if you think that this is important, you can copy this in your note, and if you don't think the notes has already provided to you, so just understand this and enjoy this video. So light is made up of electromagnetic waves, the first thing that you have to know. And whenever we will talk how the light is made, so it is made up of bundles of very tiny particles having no masses, that is known as the photon. So when anyone will ask you how the light is made up, you have to simply say light is made up of photon, that is a very fine and the tiny particles, contains no mass, and the scientist who discovered the intensity of light was Romer. I think most of the guys, actually I teach you taught in 9 also what is the intensity of light. So if you don't know, I'm writing right here. This is the intensity of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. This is the velocity at which the light travel in space in vacuum, and the velocity of light gradually decreases in the different medium, and the velocity of light depends on the density of that medium. If the medium will be quite dense, the velocity of light will be quite low, and if the density of the medium is low, then the velocity of light will be high. So simply you can say that the velocity of light and the density of medium are inversely proportional to each other. When one quantity will increase, another quantity will decrease. So we know that light is made up of electromagnetic waves. This is made up of very tiny small particles, that is known as the photon, and the first scientist who discovered the light about the intensity of light was Romer, and the intensity of light was calculated by the scientist, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. This is the velocity at which the light travel in a space. Now we have to learn what are the characteristics of light. Actually these are the characteristics of light, but what is the main characteristics of light? Why is it needed? I think you know the simple answer will be to see the world around us. Actually we know that eye is very necessary to see the world, but can you imagine if the light of this room will be off, we will see anything in this room? No. The answer is simply no, because we can see anything in the presence of light only. Because let us suppose this is your board, and how you see that right now, or anything in your room, your mobile phone, your notes, your bed, your sofa, anything that is inside your room, you can see that due to the help of light. When the light falls on any object and it gets reflected back and it goes to your eyes, in that condition you are able to see the object. That is known as the reflection of light. That is the main thing that we have to know. So these are the short descriptions about the light. Now reflection of light. So if we will discuss about the definition of reflection of light, so it will be when light falls on any surface, it bounces back, and this phenomena is simply known as the reflection of light. So what? Simply the phenomena of bouncing back of light when it falls on any object or any surface is known as the reflection of light. The question that will come in your exam will be, what are the laws of reflection? You have to write that. Sometime definition can be also asked, what is the definition of reflection of light? So you can you can write the definition that the phenomena of bouncing back of light when it falls on any object or on any surface, this is known as the reflection of light. Now there are two laws of reflection of light. The first I will make the diagram that will make it easier to understand. This is any surface, or simply this is a mirror, a plain mirror. We are naming the mirror here M, N, and this is the incident ray of light, that is A, and this is O, and this is the reflected ray of light, that is O and B, and this is the P. So in this figure you can see the first thing, this is known as the surface. You can say it surface, or simply any mirror, any object, and this is the incident ray of light. This one is the reflected ray, and this one is the normal. So this is the ray of light which falls on this surface, that is why this is known as the incident ray of light. This is the ray of light which bounces back after coming on this surface Mn, that is why this is known as the reflected ray of light. And this is the normal. It means that when any ray of light comes perpendicular on the surface of the mirror, it does not bounce, it simply reflected in that direction only. It means that this ray of light came in this direction and it reflected back in this direction only. So the first thing that you have to learn in the definition of law of reflection is incident ray, reflected ray, and the normal. All these lie on the same plane of the surface. This is the same point of the plane. This is the point O and MN is the plane. So the rule is that incident ray of light, reflected ray of light and the normal all lie on the same point of the plane. This is the first thing that you have to learn in the law of reflection of light. And the second thing is that the angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection. So what is the angle of incident and what is the angle of reflection? The angle between incident ray of light and the normal is known as the angle of incident, which can be indicated as angle I. And what is the angle of reflection? The angle between normal and the reflected ray of light is known as the reflected angle of reflection, and simply it can be denoted as angle I and angle R. I am writing here, this is angle I, you can simply read it angle of incident, and this is angle R, angle of reflection. So the rule is angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection. Like we are taking certain example, let this angle will be 30 degree. So now tell me what will be the angle of reflection? Simply it will be also 30 degree. If it will be 40 degree, then it will be also 40 degree. So if the angle of incident is 35 degree, the angle of reflection will also be 35 degree. So angle of incident and angle of reflection will always equal whenever we will talk about the law of reflection of light. So the first law was incident ray, reflected ray and the normal all lies on the same point of the plane, and the second law was the angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection. So these are the things that we have to learn. Actually I didn't write the definition because the purpose to making this video is only make you understand the topic, not making the video very large, because it will be quite difficult for you to learn this. So these are the law of reflection of light. Now we will go further. So I am giving you certain situation and you have to tell me. So in this case tell me if the angle of incidence is equals to 35 degree, what will be the angle of reflection? You already know this, I taught you. The angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection, so it will be also 35 degree. This is the second problem. Now tell me what is the angle of reflection. I'm giving you few seconds. 60 degree. How we will calculate the angle of reflection here? This is quite tricky, so you have to keep one thing in your mind, we can only calculate the angle of reflection when the angle of incident is given, but angle of incident is not given in this case. In this case you have to given the angle between the incident ray of light and the mirror or the surface. So first of all you need to calculate the incident ray of light. We know that this is the normal and it makes 90 degree with the surface. So simply find out this angle. This total angle will be 90 degree. From here to here it will be 90 degree, and you need to calculate here angle of incident, that is this is 60 degree, so 90 degree minus 60 degree is equals to 30 degree. So how we calculated? This is 60 degree and this is not angle of incident. Don't be confused. This is the angle which is formed between the mirror or the surface and the incident ray. That is why this is not the angle of incident. Angle of incident is the angle between the incident ray of light and the normal. So first of all we have to calculate the angle of incident. That is, the total angle is 90 degree here. Why 90 degree? Because the angle between the surface and the normal is always 90 degree in the law of reflection. So 90 degree minus 60 degree is equals to 30 degree, and when the angle of incident is equals to 30 degree, angle of reflection will be also 30 degree. So this is the sample methodology by which we can calculate the angle of incident as well as the angle of reflection. So I am erasing here. Okay, now we have to start plane mirror. You already know about it. You already always see your face in this mirror, in plane mirror. So we are discussing here plane mirror. To make the full photograph of your body, the minimum size of the mirror that you require is the half of the length of your body. I'm giving you one example. Let your height is 160 centimeter. So you need the plane mirror of at least 80 centimeter to make the entire photograph, entire pic of your body. And when we stand in front of any plane mirror, let us suppose this is the plane mirror. And we stand here in front of the plane mirror. So the image will form behind the mirror, and the distance between the object and the mirror will be equals to the distance between the image and the mirror. That is, object distance is equals to image distance, always in plane mirror. If this is 20 centimeter from mirror to object, it will be also 20 centimeter from object to image to mirror. It means that the gap between the image and the object are always equal. So image distance is equals to object distance. The characteristics of plane mirrors are, first of all, it makes the virtual and erect image of any object. Virtual images are those images which cannot be transmitted on the projector, and the real images are all those images which can be transmitted on projector. And simply you can learn this by a thing is that if the image will real, it will always inverted, and if the image will erect, it means Siddha, then it will be always virtual. So plane mirror in which you see your face is virtual in nature, and it makes the erect image of everything, as well as the image which is formed on the plane mirror is laterally inverted. Laterally inverted, it means that if you will raise your left hand in front of the mirror, you will see that your right hand is emerging in the plane mirror. If you will hold your left ear, it will seems that you are holding your right ear. This phenomena that happens in front of mirror is known as the phenomena of lateral inversion, as well as the object distance. It means the distance between the mirror and the object is always equals to the image distance, the distance between the mirror and the image. So this point you can also write object distance is equals to image distance. So these are the certain things that you have to know about the plane mirror. These are the characteristics of the plane mirror, and it comes in numerical question like of 1 marks, and sometimes it can come in 2 marks also. Ki write the characteristics of the image which is formed by the plane mirror. So you have to write these points over there, and we are quitting here. So the rest content, that this chapter content, we will cover tomorrow. And I hope you will enjoy this video. And I want to share one thing. This is the first experience of mine to teach online, and I'm not hesitate, but I think it is quite agitating for me. And I repeated certain things many times due to that problem. So you guys will don't overlook that. It means you can simply see that and just tell me ki, how it was, and according to this experience I will make the further videos on this chapter. So best of luck.